The city was broken. Buildings were half dead, covered in dust and wires. Machines moved in the streets not like helpers but like hunters. It was the year 2179. Humanity had lost many things: hope, homes, and even their own bodies. And among them, there was a girl named Ilara. She crawled across the cold metal street, dragging her body with her arms. Her legs were gone, taken in the last machine war. Her clothes were old and torn, but her eyes still had a little light. She stopped outside a clinic. A glowing red sign read, "Cyberflesh, body parts for sale." Inside, people waited in line, some to buy parts, some to sell their own. One man gave away his arm for a few credits. Another exchanged his eyes for night vision. Flesh had become money. Ilara entered slowly. The lights inside buzzed. Machines scanned everyone. The smell of oil and blood was in the air. She reached a counter and looked up at the glass. Behind it sat a bored receptionist with silver fingers typing fast on a glowing screen. "I need legs," Ilara whispered. The receptionist didn't look up. "Do you have something to trade?" Ilara opened her small bag. "A few coins, a photo, and a music box." "Nothing valuable." She looked around. People had wires in their necks, metal plates on their faces, glowing arms, and red robotic eyes. "I'll give you my body," she said, voice shaking. "Take whatever you want. Just give me legs. I want to walk again." There was silence. A tall man stepped out from behind a steel door. He wore a long coat, his hands covered in dark gloves. His face was part human, part metal. One red eye glowed softly. This was Dr. Varn, the lead engineer of Cyberflesh. He walked toward Ilara slowly. "Who told you to say that?" he asked, voice deep but calm. "No one," she replied. "I've lost everything. My home, my family. I don't want to beg on the streets anymore. Just give me legs." Dr. Varn crouched down and looked into her eyes. For a moment he said nothing. Then he gently touched her chin and said, "You are not for sale." Ilara blinked. "What?" "You're not a part." He said, "Not a machine, not a product, but why?" She asked. "Because there's something inside you," he said. "Something you don't know yet." Before she could speak, alarms began to ring. Red lights flashed. "Subject 77 detected. Secure the zone." A robotic voice echoed through the speakers. Guards rushed in. Drones flew down from the ceiling. Doctor. Varn stood up fast. "They found you," he said. "Come with me." Now, Ilara was confused. "What's happening?" "No time to explain." He picked her up carefully and ran through a secret door behind the counter. They moved through dark tunnels. Steam hissed from the walls. The sound of metal footsteps followed them. "Why are they chasing me?" Ilara asked. "You have something." "They want," Dr. Varn said. "You're not just a girl with no legs. You're something more." In the hidden lab, he placed her on a soft chair. Screens around her lit up, showing old data. A name appeared on the screen. Project Human Flame. Status active DR. Varn turned to her. "You were part of an old project," he said. "They used you, but they failed to control it. You are still human, but you carry something special in your body." Ilara looked down at herself, shocked. "I don't remember anything. They erased your memory. But now they want you back?" Ilara's eyes filled with tears. "I just wanted to walk again." Dr. Varn smiled sadly. "And you will. But not by selling yourself. Not by becoming one of them. You're different, and that difference might save us all." Outside, the machines searched for her. Inside, the girl with no legs had just taken her first step toward something much bigger than she could ever imagine. The room was quiet, but Ilara's heart was not. She sat in a soft chair, surrounded by strange machines and glowing screens. The air smelled of metal and electricity. Her hands trembled as she looked at Dr. Varn, still trying to understand his words. "You carry something inside you, something not even, you know." Her voice came out weak. "How is that possible?" "I'm just a girl. I was nobody." Dr. Varn looked at her with serious eyes. "You were never nobody. You were hidden." He tapped a few buttons on a floating screen. It lit up, showing an old file. The image was blurry, but Ilara saw something. Strange, a photo of herself, younger, standing in a lab. Tubes were connected to her back. Scientists stood around her. Project Human Flame, the title read. Status, dormant. That can't be me, Ilara said. I don't remember. That's because they took your memories, Varn replied. They wanted to hide the experiment and you. Ilara's mind raced. All these years she thought she was just unlucky. A war orphan, a broken girl with no legs, but now she was something else. Varn stepped forward. The Order created you, but they failed to control your power. So they tried to erase you. But I found traces of your signal in the system. I knew someone like you still existed. He paused, then said carefully, I can help you remember. Ilara looked up. What do I have to do? Dr. Varn opened a silver case. Inside was a glowing device shaped like a butterfly. It floated. In the air, pulsing softly. This will enter your neural system and unlock hidden memories. It will hurt. And it may change who you are. Ilara took a deep breath. She had been through pain before. She had nothing left to lose. Do it, she said. The butterfly-like device moved toward her forehead. It blinked once, then flew into her skin like a spark of light. Her eyes rolled back. In seconds, her mind was filled with flashes, a burning lab. Children crying, metal arms grabbing her. A woman's voice whispering, Run, Ilara, don't let them find you. Her body shook violently. Tears ran down her face. Varn held her shoulders, steadying her. After a minute, it stopped. She gasped and looked around, sweat on her forehead. I remember, she said slowly. There was a woman. She helped me escape. She hid me in the outer zones, but they found us. That's how I lost my legs. Dr. Varn nodded. That woman was your mother. She was also a scientist. The only one who believed that humans should stay human. Ilara's voice broke. She died because of me. No, said Varn. She died protecting the future. Ilara looked down at her body. I don't feel like the future. Dr. Varn bent down beside her. You don't need metal legs to walk again. You need purpose. And now, you have it. Just then, a sharp alarm sounded. Beep dash beep dash be, unauthorized. Signal breach, the system announced. Varn turned to a screen. Red dots blinked across a map. They're tracking us again. Because of me? Ilara asked. Yes, the biotech inside you acts like a beacon. They want it back. He looked at her seriously. We have to move, but where will we go? She asked. There's a man, Varn said. He leads the rebellion. His name is Captain Reese. He protects people like you, people who refuse to sell their humanity. If anyone can help you, it's him. Ilara nodded. Then let's go. But as they prepared to leave, Varn paused. Ilara, before we go, I must ask something important. What is it? He opened another case. Inside were 2 mechanical legs, sleek and advanced. I made these for you. They can help you walk now. But once you wear them, the Order can detect you more easily. They are powerful but risky. Ilara stared at them. They looked perfect. She imagined herself walking, running, feeling the ground again, but then she remembered her mother's voice. Don't let them change who you are. She closed the case. No, not yet, she said. I want to walk with my own will. Not their machines. Varn smiled for the first time. You're stronger than I thought. As they left the lab through the underground passage, the city above was already searching, but deep in the tunnels, hope moved silently, on broken legs but an unbroken heart. Ilara was no longer just a girl. She was a spark, and sparks, when protected, become fire. The tunnel was long and dark. Cold water dripped from the ceiling. Ilara moved slowly, still without legs, but her arms were strong. Dr. Varn walked beside her. Carrying a small scanner and a pulse gun, they had been traveling underground for hours. Are we close? Ilara asked. Almost, Varn replied. Captain Reese keeps his base hidden. Even I don't know the exact location. But the signal he left should lead us, Ilara nodded. Her body was tired, but her mind was awake. The memories she had recovered were like tiny flames flickering inside her. Her mother's voice, the lab, the escape, all of it felt real now. Painful but real. Suddenly, Varn stopped. His scanner beeped fast. "We're not alone," he whispered. Ilara listened. A soft clank, clank, clank echoed behind them. Not human footsteps. Something heavier, sharper. "Run," Varn said. "But I can't." Before she could finish, Varn lifted her into his arms and ran. Behind them, two silver drones flew down the tunnel, red eyes glowing. A loud robotic voice followed. "Subject 77, surrender now. You are the property of the Order." Varn took a sharp turn into a side passage. The walls grew tighter. He placed Ilara down and pulled a small device from his coat. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Buying us time." He threw the device behind them. A bright blue flash filled the tunnel. MP wave. The drones stopped mid-air, then dropped. Like rocks, Varn turned to her. "They're sending scouts now. Hunters will come next." "Then let's keep moving." She crawled forward, refusing to stop. Her arms ached, but she didn't say a word. She wasn't weak. Not anymore. After another hour, they reached a large steel door, hidden behind a pile of junk. Varn knocked in a pattern. 3 short 2 long. A small panel opened. A voice came through. "What's the code?" Varn answered. "Humanity first?" The door slid open. Behind it stood a tall man in dark armor. His left eye was human. His right one glowed blue. "Dr. Varn," he said. "And this must be her," Ilara, Varn said. "She's the key." The man looked at her, and for a moment said nothing. Then he stepped aside. "Come in." This was Captain Reese, leader of the underground resistance. Inside the base, rebels trained, repaired weapons, and studied maps. Some had robotic limbs, but their eyes were still full of fire. Ilara was taken to a medical room. A kind woman cleaned her wounds and gave her water. Later, Reese came to speak with her. "I've heard stories about you," he said. "Some call you a myth." "I'm just a girl," she replied. He shook his head. "No, you're a message. Proof that the Order failed." She frowned. "Failed at what?" "Failed to take everything from us. Failed to turn us all into parts and numbers." "You are something they couldn't erase?" Ilara thought for a moment. "If that's true, why do they want me back so badly?" Reese sat down. "Because of what's inside you. Your body carries code, original human biotech. Before the war, your mother designed it to heal humans without machines, natural regeneration. No metal, no wires. But I don't feel powerful," Ilara said. "I feel broken." Reese looked serious. "That's because power like yours is still growing, and the Order wants to cut it out of you piece by piece." Varn stepped in. "They'll come for her again, with more force," Reese nodded. "Then we need to make a decision," he turned to Ilara. "You have 2 paths," he said. "We can hide you, lock you in a safe place, deep underground. You'll live, but you'll never be free." "And the second path?" she asked. "You fight," he said. "You stand with us, learn to use what you have. Become the fire your mother lit." Ilara was silent for a long time. Finally, she said, "But I have no legs. How can I fight like this?" Reese smiled and pointed at his own mechanical arm. "We fight with whatever we have, flesh or metal, heart or machine, but never as slaves." She looked down at her hands, dirty, scarred, but strong. "I'll fight," she whispered. Reese nodded. "Then we'll begin training tomorrow." The night, as the base lights dimmed, Ilara sat alone. She opened the small music box she carried in her bag. The soft tune played, the same song her mother used to hum, and then she noticed something, a tiny symbol, hidden inside the lid, glowing faintly, a mark she had seen in her memory. The same symbol from the lab. She touched it, and the music stopped. A voice played from the box, her mother's voice. "If you are hearing this, Ilara, it means you're still alive." "Good, that means they didn't win." Ilara's heart froze. The message continued. "What's inside you isn't just biotech. It's the last piece of the cure. The one thing that can stop the Order forever." Ilara stared into the dark, the music box shaking in her hands. She wasn't just the key. She was the cure. Morning in the rebel base felt different. No sunlight touched the walls, but something warm moved through the air. Energy, purpose, hope. The kind that didn't come from machines, but from people ready to fight. Ilara sat on the ground, breathing slow. Her arms ached, her shoulders burned. But she didn't complain. Captain Reese stood in front of her, holding a practice staff. He tossed it toward her. Time to train, he said. She caught it clumsily. I still have no legs, she reminded him. You still have a mind, he replied. And a spark. At first, she struggled. The staff was heavy. Her movements were slow. She kept falling, but she kept trying. Again and again. The rebels watched her from a distance, some amused, some curious. Hours passed, sweat rolled down her face. Her breath turned sharp. Enough for today, Reese said. No, Ilara replied, raising the staff again. One more round. Reese smiled. Good. Varn watched from the shadows. He was building something. New legs. Not metal ones from the Order, but something different. Something more human. That night, Ilara sat by herself, holding the music box again. Her mother's voice still echoed in her ears. You carry the cure, not for yourself, but for everyone. She didn't know what that cure was. But now she knew why they wanted her. The Order didn't just want to control her. They wanted to destroy what made her special, and she wouldn't let them. The next day, Reese handed her a small device. This is a scrambler chip, he said. We need to place it in one of the Order's towers. It'll block their signals for a few hours, give us a chance to move more people underground. You want me to do it? Ilara asked. Reese nodded. You're the only one they don't expect. I'm also the only one who can't run, she said with a grin. We'll get you there, he said. But once you're inside, you're on your own. Ilara agreed. She was ready. That night, the rebel van rolled through the city. Ruins. The lights were dimmed. Machines patrolled above in flying drones. The Order's tower stood tall in the distance, glowing like a monster made of glass and steel. Reese helped Ilara out of the van. She dragged herself to a broken pipe near the tower's base. Her hands bled on the sharp rocks, but she didn't stop. Inside the pipe, she crawled for 20 minutes in the dark. Finally, she reached the wall of the tower. She took a deep breath, reached into her bag, pulled out the chip. Just then, a soft hum. She turned. 2 patrol bots hovered behind her, their red eyes blinking. Unauthorized life form detected. Ilara didn't run. She couldn't. Instead, she pulled the staff from her back and swung hard. The first bot crashed to the side. The second fired a stun beam. Ilara rolled, barely missing it. Then, she jumped forward and slammed the staff into its eye. Both bots fell, but the sound had triggered an alarm. Red lights flashed. Intruder alert, Sector 7. Ilara didn't waste time. She pulled herself up, reached the tower's back panel, and jammed the chip into the port. For a second, nothing. Then, the lights blinked. The signal screen flickered. Scrambler activated. She smiled, bloody, tired but victorious. Then, something strange happened. Her body started to glow, faint, golden lines moving across her arms. Her veins lit up like wires, but not metal. Something alive. And then, she heard her mother's voice again, not from the music box. From inside her. Good, Ilara, you're waking up. Her mind felt sharp, her senses expanded. She could hear machines from far away. She could feel the tower's data flowing through her. The biotech inside her wasn't just healing. It was connecting. Suddenly, she knew where every drone was. Every camera. Every door. She didn't just carry the cure, she could control the system. But then, pain. Sharp, electric pain shot through her head. She collapsed, gripping her skull. Back. At the rebel base, Varn's scanner beeped wildly. She activated something, he said. Her connection to the system. It's stronger than we thought. Reese looked worried. Is it safe? I don't know, Varn replied. But it's begun. Ilara woke up in the rebel van. Reese sat beside her. You did it, he said. She tried to sit up. The bots? The signal? I felt everything. I could see inside the tower. Varn entered the van, holding a small monitor. It showed Ilara's body, glowing threads still pulsing inside. You accessed the grid, he said. Your body isn't just carrying the cure. It's adapting, becoming part of the Earth's old network. Ilara whispered, I don't want to be a machine. Varn shook his head. You're not. You're proof that flesh and code can exist together without losing humanity. Reese looked out the window. The Order will know now, he said. She's not just a threat, she's the spark. Ilara closed her eyes, her hand on her chest. The fire was burning now, not just inside her, but across the city. The rebel base was quiet that night, too quiet. Ilara sat in the medical wing, her hands still glowing faintly from the mission. Her mind felt full, not just with thoughts, but with information, maps, codes, signals. All of it danced inside. Her head, she was changing, and it scared her. Dr. Varn walked in, holding a scanner. Your neural levels are rising, he said. The biotech inside you, it's becoming something new. Am I still human? Ilara asked. Varn paused. That's up to you. She looked at her reflection in the metal wall. Her face was the same, but her eyes were brighter. Like light was hiding inside them before she could ask more. A siren blared. Alert, security breach in lower corridor. Ilara and Varn rushed out. Captain Reese met them in the hallway. His face was tense. Someone opened the south gate, he said. No one was allowed near it? They followed him down a stairwell where 2 guards lay unconscious. The gate had been sliced open. Clean. Silent. They knew the code, Reese growled. Only high-level staff have that access. He looked at Varn, then at Ilara. It wasn't me, Varn said quickly. I've been with her all night, Reese called over his lieutenant. Check the footage, every camera, I want names. Ilara stared at the broken gate. Something cold settled in her chest. Someone in the base had betrayed them. Later that day, Reese gathered the inner circle in the war room. The air was thick with tension. We found the footage, the lieutenant announced. Someone erased most of it, but one clip survived. The screen turned on. A figure walked alone toward the gate, wearing a hood. Moving fast. Then they turned slightly, just enough for the light to catch part of the face. It was someone Ilara knew, someone she trusted. Lysa. A rebel tech who had helped repair Ilara's gear. She had shared food, talked kindly, even helped clean the blood from Ilara's hands after training. No, Ilara whispered. It can't be her, Reese's eyes narrowed. She's gone now. Vanished after the breach. Varn clenched his jaw. She was working for the Order all along. Or maybe, Reese added, she was trying to protect something else. What do you mean? Ilara asked. Some people believe that merging with machines is the only way forward. Reese explained. They see your biotech as a threat to progress. Maybe she wasn't loyal to the Order. Maybe she believed in something worse. Ilara stood up. Her voice was steady. I want to find her. Reese raised an eyebrow. You just came back from a mission. I don't care. She was close to me. She touched my gear, helped me sleep. If she betrayed me, I need to know why. Varn looked worried. It could be a trap. Ilara turned to him. Then let me walk into it on my terms. The night, Ilara left the base with Reese and 2 scouts. They followed Lysa's trail across the ruined city. The signal was weak but traceable. Through broken factories, silent streets, and ash-covered fields, they moved like shadows. Finally, they reached a hidden bunker, small, buried under rubble, and protected by a simple code lock. Ilara stepped forward and entered a number. The music box code. 7-7-3. The door opened. Inside, the lights flickered. It wasn't a trap. It was a lab. And Lysa stood in the center. Unarmed. I knew you'd come, Lysa said, her voice soft. Ilara stared at her. Why? Lysa looked sad. Because I believe in something different. You believe in betrayal? Ilara asked. No, Lysa said. I believe in control. Your power is growing too fast. If you lose control, you won't just destroy the Order, you'll destroy everything. I'm not a weapon, Ilara said. You don't know what you are yet, Lysa replied. And neither does Varn. He's not telling you the full truth. Ilara hesitated. What truth? Lysa reached into her coat and threw a small chip across the floor. Play it, she said. Then decide. Reese stepped forward, gun raised. We're taking you in. Lysa didn't resist. She put her hands up. I just want her to hear the truth. Back at the base, Varn studied the chip. His face turned pale. Reese asked, "What's on it?" Varn looked at Alara. "It's from the original human flame files. Deleted records, files even I never saw." He pressed play. A video loaded. ELARA single quotes S mother appeared, standing in the lab, younger, desperate. "The cure is working, but it's evolving faster than we expected. If it spreads, we may not be able to stop it." Another scientist asked, "Should we shut the project down?" Her mother replied, "No, we let it live. We give her the choice." The screen went dark. Silence filled the room. Ilara looked around. Everyone stared at her. She's saying, "I could lose control?" Ilara asked. Varn didn't answer because now even he wasn't sure. Ilara felt cold, alone, not because of Lisa, but because the truth had a deeper cut than betrayal. Asterisk. The storm was no longer outside. It was inside ELAR. Her mind spun with questions. Was she still human? Could she lose control? Was she meant to cure or destroy? The video of her mother repeated in her head. If it spreads, we may not be able to stop it. She sat alone in the old training room, surrounded by silence. Her glowing veins pulsed under her skin like lightning beneath water. She touched her arm and felt warmth, not metal. Not machine. Alive. Varn entered quietly, holding a datapad. "You haven't spoken since we watched the file," he said. "There's nothing to say," Ilara replied. "I'm a threat." "No," Varn said. "You're a mirror. What you become depends on what you believe." "I don't know what to believe anymore." Varn walked closer. "Then it's time you stop listening and start choosing." He placed the datapad in her lap. It showed the world map, blinking dots everywhere, rebel camps, refugee zones, cities taken by the Order, one by one, disappearing. "They're tightening control," Varn said, "wiping out every last rebel zone. But if we could ignite the grid again, bring it back online, it would connect all survivors. Share real-time data, weapons, warnings, hope." Alara looked at him. "You want me to do it?" "You're the only one who can." That evening, Ilara stood before the rebel crowd, soldiers, mechanics, medics, people who had seen loss and chosen to keep going. They watched her in silence. "I'm not a commander," she said. "I'm not a hero." She lifted her arm. Her veins glowed gold. "I didn't choose this power, but I can choose what I do with it." She paused. "The Order wants us to fear what we don't understand. They want us to trade skin for steel. They want us to forget that we are human." Her voice rose. "Well, I haven't forgotten. And I won't let them rewrite us." People leaned in. Some clutched weapons, others held hands. "I don't care if I'm dangerous. I'll use my power to build, not burn. But if they come for us, I will light the fire they fear." One voice called out, "Human flame." Another joined, "The flame rises." Then the crowd chanted together, "We are not parts. We are not parts." Ilara felt it. Not just power, belief. That night, Varn prepared the grid access device. It looked like a crown of wires. "This will link your mind to the grid," he explained. "But it will test your limits. You must not let the system control you. Stay grounded." Ilara nodded. "What if I can't?" "Then I'll pull you back," he promised. They began the process. The crown lowered onto her head. Wires touched her skin. And then she was inside. Ilara found herself floating in a dark space filled with pulses of light. Each spark was a city, a signal, a voice. She reached toward them and her thoughts connected. Stories, names, cries. For help. Sector 12 under attack. Medical team trapped. Resistance group hiding in sewer grid. It was too much. She screamed. The lights shook. A voice echoed through the grid. Not hers. "You are not the cure. You are the infection." Ilara clutched her head. The grid was pushing back. Then she heard a familiar voice, her mother's, soft, deep inside. "Let go of fear. Let memory guide you." Ilara reached inward, not outward, and found it. The night her mother hid her. The warmth of a lullaby. The feeling of safety, of love. She opened her eyes inside the grid. "I'm not a machine," she whispered. "I'm human." The grid pulsed. Not in anger. In harmony. All the signals aligned. Back in the real world. Varn saw the screen stabilize. Data flowed through the base, fast, clean, and free. Rebel camps lit up across the map. The grid was alive, and Ilara was. Still breathing, she opened her eyes. It worked? She asked. Varn laughed. You didn't just connect it. You became the core. Days passed, the rebellion grew stronger. With grid access restored, rebel forces began striking key order locations. Civilians were evacuated. Old cities came back online. Small lights started appearing across the dark map. The fire was spreading, but so was danger. One night, while Ilara was reviewing reports, Reese entered. We intercepted a message, he said. They know? Know what? That you've taken the grid, Ilara stood. Then they're coming, Reese nodded. With everything. As the base prepared for battle, Ilara stood on a tower, watching the horizon. No fear in her eyes now, only fire, not wild, but focused. Her voice echoed across the rebel channel. This is Ilara, the human flame. I am not afraid. I will not run, and I will not let them take what we've rebuilt. Let them come. We will burn their lies with our truth, and we will rise. The sky turned red. Not from the sun, from fire. The order had arrived. Their ships hovered above the ruined city, giant shadows blocking the stars. Drones circled like vultures. Armored walkers marched through the streets. They came for one reason, to take Ilara and end the rebellion. Inside the rebel base, the walls shook from distant explosions. Ilara stood in the war room, calm and silent. Her veins still glowed softly, gold threads under her skin. Reese entered. Armored and ready, they're advancing fast, he said. We won't survive unless we fall back. Ilara shook her head. No, we hold the line. If they take the grid again, we lose everything. Varn walked in behind them. You don't have to fight, Ilara. We can hide you. Move you through the tunnels. I'm not hiding anymore, she replied. They've chased me all my life. Today I stop running. She stepped toward the center console and looked at the map. The Order's forces were pushing inward. Rebel? Camps were blinking out. Ilara placed her hand on the screen. I'm going to them. Varn grabbed her arm. You'll die. She looked at him. Then let me die on my feet, not on a table. Outside, the rebels lined up, weapons ready. Ilara rolled out in a hover chair, her legs still gone, by choice. Her body weak, but her spirit burning. She carried no gun. Only the music box in one hand and a signal booster in the other. People turned to her. Some bowed their heads. Others nodded silently. Reese stepped beside her. You sure about this? Ilara smiled. Let's give them something to remember. At the city center, the Order's army stood in formation. Their leader, Commander Thale, wore black armor, face hidden behind a glass mask. She's here, he said, staring at a live feed. Prepare the extraction unit. His assistant asked, Do we recover the biotech? Thale replied coldly, No, we erase it. Ilara reached the square. The drones circled above. Walkers pointed their cannons. Commander. Thale's voice echoed through the grid. Surrender. The cure does not belong to you. Ilara lifted the signal booster and spoke back. You're wrong. It was never yours. And neither am I. Thale's mask glowed red. Fire. The cannons charged, but just before they fired, Ilara opened the music box. The tune played, soft, gentle, but the effect was massive. A wave of golden energy burst out from her body, pulsing through the grid. All nearby machines froze. Drones dropped. Cannons powered down. The human flame had awakened fully. Her mother's voice echoed one last time in her mind. Don't sell what makes you human. Ilara stood, for the first time, not with metal legs, but with light under her feet. The biotech had completed itself. She could walk, not because of machines, but because of choice. Reese and the rebels charged forward. With the machines disabled, they had a chance. The battle turned. Commander Thale saw it all and growled. She's rewriting the system, he said. She's infecting the core. He ordered an emergency strike, a final bomb drop. Back at the rebel base, Varn watched the incoming warhead. If it hits, we all die. He grabbed a device, one he had never used, a dead man's key. Forgive me. He whispered Dot and activated it. The signal surged through the sky, locking onto the warhead and detonating it early, high above the ground. The base survived, but Varn was gone. On the battlefield, Alara fell to her knees. The power had taken everything from her, her strength, her breath. Reese caught her. "You did it," he said, tears in his eyes. Alara smiled weakly. "Did we win?" Reese nodded. "Yes, because of you." Drones were falling all over the world. The grid had been changed forever. The Orda's control was broken, and Alara had saved not just lives, but the idea of being human. Weeks later, peace returned. The rebel base became a city again. Children played in the tunnels. People laughed in the sunlight. No one needed metal to feel strong anymore. Alara sat in a garden in a handmade wheelchair. She watched the sky, music box in her lap. Reese came and sat beside her. "They're building a statue." He said, "I don't want a statue," she replied. "I just want people to remember one thing." "What's that?" Alara looked at him, smiling. "We're not parts. We're not machines. We are not for sale." The wind blew gently through the trees. The fire had burned Dot, and from its ashes, hope had risen.